This is Pak Beng. Of course, it's funny when you say something is actually something, because you would think that, Pak Beng is full of old trucks, maybe a place where these ran as buses back in the day, like chicken buses in Central America, and people individuate and decorate them. But Pak Beng is none of those. Pak Beng is one little town on your way to Slovo from Laos, and it has one street going all through town. And I was walking along, saw lots of different shops selling clothes mostly, some mini marts, pharmacies. I just happened to see this truck on the side of the road. It made for a beautiful picture. So I want to title my talk, This is Pak Beng, with that picture. But it's completely inaccurate, right? It has nothing to do with Pak Beng. I think that's the funny thing when we think about cover stories. Photos adorning the cover of a book that have nothing to do with the actual content of the book, but they look nice and they sell. Was it different back in the past when you weren't able to judge a book by its cover because it had no cover, definitely no pictures, maybe some words. They didn't have many font choices like today. But now we just look at these things, we're like, oh, that's nice. And we use something to sell something else that really have nothing to do with each other. But do we call that false advertising, or that's just what life has evolved to be? I remember when I was chatting with this one girl, and it was on one of these instant messenger programs, and she had this beautiful picture. I was really excited to be meeting her, and when I actually met her, I realized she looked nothing like her picture. Well, it's because her picture was actually a Japanese model. I guess I don't know my Japanese models. And so she was not a Japanese model. She was just a normal person. Didn't look anything like that. But I think it did give me a better impression of her, even though I realized she wasn't the person in the picture. I still thought of her somehow as that person in the picture. And I really was excited to meet her, even though she told me that was not her picture. Why? Is this about first impressions? I mean, it's not even a first impression because it's not a true impression of the person. You would think an impression is something like an imprint, a stamp. Not quite the same as the real thing, but similar. Sometimes they're not similar at all. But I guess that is where we are nowadays. Where things that aren't similar, things that aren't representative, somehow influence our ideas of a place. Like I ask people why they go to this or that place. Like, why is India so cool for so many people? And one guy told me he watched all these movies about India. But it's like saying you go to California because, everybody's gorgeous like in Hollywood. And that's where the normal person on the street is. Or you go to Alaska because you want to meet Eskimos. I mean, people know these aren't really representative. I mean, they may exist there, but they're not a sampling of the whole. But I guess the question is any reason a bad reason as long as it gets you to read a book?